There's been a wave of new CD players hitting the market lately, and one brand that's been really stirring things up is Moondrop. Hi, my name is Aaron, and I recently reviewed the Moondrop Discdream 2 CD player, but now I have in my hands the more expensive model, the Discdream 2 Ultra. So what is the Ultra offering us at this more expensive price? Better sound, better features, or should we just save our money and stick with the regular Discdream 2 instead? In this video, I'm going to compare the sound and features of these two Moondrop CD players to see which one is right for you and whether or not spending the extra money on the Ultra is really worth it. Pricing is the first major difference between these two players, with the Ultra coming in at $350, while the Discdream 2, which I will most likely call the regular model going forward, comes in at $180. Now this is a $170 price difference, which is a lot of money when comparing two CD players that seem to be offering a lot of the same qualities. The price difference between these two players means that they're made of different materials. The Ultra is made of aluminum, while the regular model is made of a lightweight plastic. The aluminum shell on the Ultra obviously means that it weighs more than the lightweight plastic of the regular model. And I think that makes it feel a little bit more sturdy, which would be convenient for using it as a desktop model. But if you really want to use these mostly as portable units, you really can't beat the lightweight feel of the plastic model. I know the plastic doesn't feel as fancy as the aluminum, but it really is more convenient to carry around because it's so lightweight. I love watching the CD spin on the regular model with that large plastic top, but the aluminum design of the Ultra hides most of that view with these lines that cover the plastic lid. Personally, I wish I could see the CD spinning on the Ultra like I can on the regular model. Now, probably the most important addition to the Ultra is the inclusion of a 4.4 balanced headphone output, which is not available on the regular player. Both players have 3.5mm single-ended that offer the same power output, but the Ultra's 4.4 balanced doubles that output figure, which means it can also power high-impedance full-size headphones, including some planar headphones. I think this new feature on the Ultra will appeal to more audiophile-leaning listeners who have researched and invested in headphones with a balanced connection. But if you are new to portable CD players and just want something easy to plug your standard headphones into, I think the regular Discdream 2 works great as it easily powers all of my headphones and IEMs. Now, even though these are portable CD players, both units will allow you to connect the player and use it as a regular standalone CD player either in your home or desktop setup. Just keep in mind this will require you to purchase the necessary cables and adapters separately for these connections, but this can be done not only via a typical RCA connection, say a 3.5mm to RCA cable, but also digitally using coax or optical. Just note you will need to buy an adapter to make this digital connection between the Moondrop and your external DAC or the digital input on your preamp or amplifier. Here's another interesting difference between these two players. They both use the same Cirrus Logic 32 multi-bit DAC. However, the Ultra uses two DACs, one for each channel, while the regular version uses only one DAC. Now, some folks will argue that including two DACs instead of one will improve the sound performance, something I will dive into in a few minutes. If at any point during this video you have any further questions from me about which of these CD players you should buy and want to reach out to me directly, you can actually do so. All you have to do is sign up to my email list and click on the link in the first pinned comment on this video. Once you confirm your email, it will send you my personal email address where you can email me any questions you have about either of these players. I've covered most of the important differences between these two players, so now let's talk about their similarities and what Moondrop as a brand tends to offer us in their CD players in terms of features. Now, long gone are the days of using AA batteries to power our CD players, and for both of these models, we'll be using rechargeable batteries. Now, Moondrop claims these last up to 8 to 9 hours. To be honest with you, I've not done any really long listening tests trying to drain these batteries and time them, but using both of these players for a long period of time now, I have noticed that there's no reason to believe that the battery drains any faster than those claims. I get really long listening sessions before I need to recharge either of these units. This is important to mention because I got a lot of feedback on this while reviewing the regular Discdream 2. Neither of these players offer Bluetooth connectivity. Also, neither of these players come with remote controls, nor do they come with those cheap plastic headphones that you might get with a cheap CD player that you buy at like Walmart or something like that. There's no headphones or any kind of earbuds or anything included when you buy either of these players. Both of these players offer great shock resistance when listening to a CD. You can really shake these while playing and it doesn't skip, which is crucial for a portable CD player. And both of these only play CD, CDR, and CDRW discs. Both players also have an analog linear output, which means that you can connect these directly to, say, active speakers and control the volume using each player. Also, one thing that Moondrop offers with their portable CD players is that if you don't want to use them as a CD player, or let's say you're traveling and forgot to bring along any CDs, you can use these as USB desktop DACs, which means you could connect them directly to your computer, and it's basically acting as an external sound card to improve the sound playback of what you might be listening to on your laptop, and both handle the same high resolution playback, both offering PCM and DSD. So the big question is, with the Ultra being more expensive than the regular model, does it sound that much better than the regular model? Well, my brain was wanting to tell me one thing, but my ears told me another. I connected my Meze Audio 99 Classic headphones and listened to many styles of music back and forth between the two players. Because the Ultra is more expensive, my brain was telling me it should definitely sound better. But after a lot of listening, my ears confirmed, at least to me, that they sound very similar. Now, this isn't a bad thing because I really enjoy the way each of these players sound. I think Moondrop does a great job providing playback that has plenty of bass and punch. These players don't have that thin, vacant sound you would get from a cheap CD player like a Jensen or something you'd buy at a Best Buy or Target. But if you're trying to decide on which one to buy and hoping the Ultra sounds twice as better due to the higher pricing or the number of DACs included, that just wasn't the case for me. As always, your experience may differ based on what headphones you are listening to, but I first wondered if a huge sound difference would jump out at me, and it just never did. This also means that if you are trying to decide between the two models for, say, a gift for a teenager, the Discdream 2 at the cheaper price is going to be a great choice, and I think they will enjoy seeing the disc spin as much as I do. But that's what's so great about the regular Discdream model. It really is a great player that doesn't need that much updating. To be honest, the feedback I received on my first video review of that player had people requesting Bluetooth connectivity more than a balanced output, something Moondrop might take into consideration for their next model. So what's the final verdict on these players and which one should you buy? Well, the good news is, because I couldn't really hear that much of a sound difference, I can't say that one sounds that much better than the other and therefore you have to buy it. We're really talking about features and your budget at this point. So keep in mind what the Ultra is offering you that the original one's not. And it's basically coming down to that dual DAC design, which again, I didn't think changed the sound signature that much, and the balanced output connectivity, which I think is going to be important for people who want that for their headphones, or who have harder to drive headphones. That's going to be really important to them for the Ultra. But again, this is a little heavier and chunkier, and I really kind of gravitated towards the more lightweight plastic feel of this whenever I was using them, in a portable manner. This is just easier to carry, easier to toss in the bag. And this is so silly, but I really love seeing the disc spin more on this version versus the Ultra. But again, this all comes down to what your personal preferences will be as to which one is best for you. At this point in the video, if you'd be interested in learning more about a portable CD player that does offer Bluetooth connectivity and how it compares with the Moondrop Discdream 2, you could do so by watching this video here.